Hello and welcome to another engaging online session. In this lesson, I will be teaching you the elements of prose. These are the elements of prose. First is the theme. The theme is the central message or the main idea that the author wants to pass across to the readers. There is also another element known as plot. Plot is the sequential arrangement of events in a story. By sequential, I mean the order or chronological arrangement of events in a story, and the plot is also known as the storyline. Sequence of events in a story are usually introduced with adverbs like first, next, after, and so on and so forth. This picture reflects the orderly steps to take when making a cup of tea. And the plot has a diagram like this, which begins with the exposition. The exposition introduces the story and it leads to a series of events that leads to the climax. The climax is the highest point of interest in a story. After the climax, the events begin to drop and lead to the resolution that concludes the story. Next is the setting. Setting refers to the time and place of a story. Did the action take place in the morning, or was it in a rainy day, in a sunny day, or in a windy day, like you can see in this picture? I want you to know at this point that it is not all authors that specifically refer to setting in their work. Some can refer to the setting by making reference to the fashion that was in vogue at that time. Look at these pictures here. It reflects the 1970s, where men used to carry this afro hairstyle, wear their pair of trousers to be tight-fitting at the thighs and very bogus or wide at the ankle. Even the women used to rock this afro hairstyle. And if you take a look at the old album of your parents or grandparents, you will see pictures like this. So, authors can also refer to setting by referring to the clothes or the fashion that was reigning at that time. So these pictures reflect the 1970s. Mood is another element of prose, and it means the frame of mind of the author when he was writing a story. It could also refer to the frame of mind of the reader when reading a novel. How do you feel after reading a novel? Do you feel sad or happy? That is the mood. There are different emotions. You could feel happy, you could feel sad, you could be angry after reading a novel. That is the mood. Next is tone. indicates the attitude of the author. How does he say what he says? Does he use a high-pitched voice or a low-pitched voice? So, tone is the attitude of the author when writing his story. And there are several adjectives to describe the tone. Next is character. Characters are the people, animals, or creatures that the author uses to develop the plot of his story. Characters are not only humans. They could be objects, they could be animals, or even creatures. The pictures here reflect human characters, and these are animals and creatures that can also be characters in a work. Types of characters. First is the round character. The round character is that type of character that develops with the events in a story. It changes. The change may not be a physical change. You may not see it physically, but the character changes. His personality changes. His principles changes. If this character was good at the beginning of the text, he may likely change to a bad character and vice versa. The opposite of the round character is the flat character. This character does not change. He remains the same throughout the story. His principles do not change. He is also called the static character, while the round character is also known as the dynamic character. Major character. This is the main or central character in a story. The action in the story revolves around the major character. Other people talk about them. Then the minor character. This character is not as important as the major character, but it still plays a large role in the text. Now, point of view. Every story is told using a point of view. Every story. Look at this picture carefully. From the position that the first person is standing, he sees this figure as 6, while the next person sees it as 9. Both of them are correct. There is only a difference in their view because of perspective, because of their location where they are standing. That is point of view. Do you see this glass as half empty or half full? It depends on your point of view. Point of view is the perspective from which an author tells a story. The angle from which a story is told is known as point of view. There are several types of point of views. First is the first person point of view. This is a method of storytelling in which a narrator recounts events from their own perspective. In this point of view, the narrator is the main character. The narrator is involved in the story. You can only know means that the first person point of view knows. This point of view is limited. It doesn't know everything. All right, and this person is telling his own story because he is involved. The first point of view uses pronouns like I, we, us, ourselves. Next is the third person point of view. The story is told by a narrator who is not in the story. The narrator is not involved, but he knows everything about all the characters, even what they think in their mind. This narrator knows everything. That is why he is also called the omniscient narrator, or eye of the God, or eye of God. And the pronouns used here are he, she, they, theirs, and so on and so forth. All right, this is where I will wrap things up in this lesson. Further discussion will be done in class.